wash you, make you clean, put away the evil of your doings from before mine eyes. Cease to do evil. Learn to do well. Seek judgment. Relieve the oppressed. Judge the fatherless. Plead for the widow. Come now, and let us reason together, saith the Lord.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to another weekly news broadcast, MoCo Resistance. My name is Harold Maldonado. Today is May 21st, year of our Lord 2024. Coming to you after a little short break after the primaries, and now we're here offering you episode 29. We welcome new listeners and viewers to the channel. We'll give you a big MoCo Resistance welcome. Welcome to the Resistance. And to those of you that follow us on a weekly basis, welcome back. We've entitled episode 29 MoCo Primary Recap. We are going to talk about what happened in the primaries and give you a summary of the losers, the winners, and everybody in between. Before going into each race, I'd like to give a shout out to all the candidates who participated in the primaries from all sides, from both sides, Democrat and Republican. I'd like to thank you for stepping up and throwing your hat into the political arena here in MoCo. I know it's hard. It takes a toll on family, on life overall, and it takes a lot of guts. And a lot of encouragement, a lot of courage to you guys for stepping up and on the GOP side, and all sides basically. Don't stop being active in your communities. Your leadership is needed. We need to come into an agreement into identifying the issues, identifying the solutions, and coming together to make sure that we are working on behalf of improving the lives of residents and finding a common ground in terms of the issues. So again, welcome to episode 29. We are going to, here's the game plan for today. We're going to talk about the state races, the local races, and the Board of Education races. It has been a very contested primary, a lot of forums, a lot of activities, events that we attended, and this is the result. One positive outcome of this is that a lot of information has come out from different various sources, not only MoCo Resistance, but independent news sources like Clean Slate MoCo, MoCo Perspective, and Moderately MoCo. We give out a shout out to those guys for stepping up and providing information to the residents. All right, so let's get started. First, we want to talk about state races, those elections that for U.S. Senate. And let's see what we have. So we have Rhino Hogan comes out on top from the Republican side, and also Brooks defeats Trone. So those two were highly contested races, primaries, and well, you know what I think about Hogan. He's a rhino. He's anything but patriotic, everything but loyal, everything but conservative, everything but honest. So, and for also Brooks, very interesting race where Trone put a lot of money, about $60 million into his campaign, but money wasn't enough. So the idea that money determines the success of a campaign is totally debunked here, because also Brooks did not have that much money. I mean, she had money, but she didn't have the amount of money that Trone had. But she ran a campaign that went far and beyond her. She punched over her weight, and she came on top. So let's get started. Let's talk about what happened to Larry Hogan. So Larry Hogan beat Ficker won by 63% of the vote. Robin Ficker got 29% of the vote. So it was not a landslide, but it was a significant win. Why did he win? Why did Hogan win? Well, he's part of the Unit Party in D.C. He's a rhino. He pretends to be a Republican, but he is controlled opposition. So the deep state wants control opposition in D.C., and who better than Hogan? So what is the deep state? We're going to go over what the deep state is in later episodes in much detail, but in summary, the deep state is the levers of power behind the curtain that pull laws, bills, and decisions that do not come out from all levels of government, whether that's federal, state, or local. So the deep state wants Hogan because Hogan is a yes man. He is going to do whatever the Unit Party decides. He's not going to fight for conservative value. He's not going to fight for anything remotely patriotic. And let me ask you a question. What has he done for the GOP? In my opinion, he hasn't done much. Back in 2022, when many of us from the conservative side ran for county council and all the offices in Maryland, U.S. Senate, also in other state offices as Maryland's House of Delegates, for example. None of us received any support from Hogan. None of us received anything from remotely supportive from Hogan. And as you might recall, he supported a Democrat, Wes Moore, in the 2022 elections for governor of Maryland. Did he support Cox over Moore? No. He supported Moore and basically dissed down Cox and showed his true colors. So, and another factoid interesting about Hogan is that during the pandemic, he was pushing the N95 masks a lot. And why did he do that? Because his wife had close relationships with South Korean pharmaceutical company that made those N95 masks. And of course, that's corruption. And so somebody must investigate his pushing the South Korean masks he pushed during the pandemic. So I'll let you go ahead and do the research on that. But this guy is he's a treasonous rhino, and his time will come, and he's going to be heading to warm weather in the Caribbean soon. So, okay, so that's Larry Hogan. And from the other side, we had a very contested race for this primary. So Angela Also Brooks beat Trone. She won by winning 53% of the vote, and Trone got 43%. And as you might recall, in 2022, Trone beat Neil Parrott for District 6 race, and he won the race by it was very dodgy, very suspect, and I'll share the information when we talk to Neil Parrott later on in the next few months. Hopefully we can get him on the show sooner. Anyway, why did she win? Why did Also Brooks win? It's not about how much money she raised. Again, the idea that campaign funding, how much you raise in a campaign will determine your success is completely flawed. It has running a successful campaign. It has nothing to do with only having a large pocketbook, but having a smart strategy going into the campaign. And Also Brooks, I think she got endorsed by a lot. And she's in the negative aspect of Also Brooks is that she's part of the corrupt Democrat political establishment in D.C. She's part of the Tacoma Park Communist Cartel, and she got a lot of endorsements from that cartel. She got endorsements by Moore. She got endorsements by Raskin, for example. and she's a far left extremist, and she's far more extremist than Trone. Of course, Trone, we're going to talk about him later on, but also Brooks was basically ran a campaign based on what the narrative currently is from the Democrat side, which is stoke racism, stoke division, support abortion, support illegal immigrants, support financing those illegal immigrants, and nothing about solving the real issues. So again, the information that we've provided in the last 2 years has been to awaken the voter here in MoCo. And we're going to continue to do this. We're going to continue our fight. We're going to continue being the resistance. We're going to continue calling out corruption and criminality in politics everywhere we see it. And it doesn't matter where it comes from. So this is Angela Alsobrooks, and she's going to be, if she wins, she's going to be just part of that Democrat corrupt machine that will push everything except the interest of the American people. So don't have any positive things to say about Mrs. Alsobrooks, but well, she won her primary. Right, now we'll continue with local races. These local races involved races for the U.S. House of Representatives for District 6 and 8 here in MoCo. And who do we have in District 6? We had the winners, Neil Parrott from the GOP side and April Delaney from the Democrat side. And from District 8, we have the winner, Cheryl Riley, and the winner on the Democrat side, Jamie Raskin. So let's start with Congressional Race District 6. So Neil Parrott, he ran in a very contested primary. We had 6 candidates, and Neil beat Cox, Heiser, Roca, among others. We've interviewed Chris Heiser and Mariela Roca here in the program, in the channel, and you get to hear from both candidates. And let's see, he won. Neil won by 46% of the vote. Cox came in second with 30% of the vote. This is the third time running for Neil. He ran in 2020 and 2022 against Trone. And again, we have information, we have analysis on how Trone might have cheated in that election in 2022. But that's another story for another episode. Okay, so more about Parrott. He served in the Maryland House of Delegates. He's a seasoned politician. He's a civil engineer. We wish him, we congratulate him on his win and wish him good luck in the general election. And as a suggestion for MoCo resistance would be to take the gloves off and go on full attack in your campaign. We need a strong leader. We need a strong message, and we need a strong platform. So everything, all the experience you have in your life as a politician, you have the tools, and we just need a strong leader to go against April Delaney. She won on the Democrat side, a very contested primary from her side. There were 16 candidates. She beat Bogle, Sells, among others. She won with 40% of the vote. Vogel came in second with 27. And from what I've been able to gather, her platform is 100% about abortion rights, about abortion being health care. Likely kissed the deep state ring. Most likely she did. And the family is part of the corrupt criminal Democrat political establishment in D.C. Her husband Delaney has been in politics, in D.C. politics, and she's part of the swamp. So it would make sense for her to run, and ran hit pieces on Mr. Bogle. Bogle ran a campaign that was basically a grassroots effort, but he lost. And what is the number of candidates in a primary show you or tell you? Well, in this case, the number of candidates most likely is a reflection of the money being there for the elected officials, kickbacks, etc. So there is those seats are highly coveted because they are prime for making money. You've seen the Democrat politicians in D.C. Their salary is between around $200,000, $150,000 a year, but their net worth has increased significantly since being elected into office. So this shows you that there is interest in going into office, not because they want to represent the people or fight for the people in the different issues, but rather they want to do this for personal gain. And this shows you that side of politics. And of course, she was endorsed by the Washington Post, and everything she says is about abortion, 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 abortion. So, as we will delve into the details of abortion and Planned Parenthood, we mentioned that in the previous History 101 episode where we talked about the history of the Black experience in the United States. Planned Parenthood was established by a racist who wanted to use Planned Parenthood to eliminate the black race, and abortion is used in part as a way to carry out satanic rituals or organ harvesting, and it's really awful, and it's something that we will touch upon. It's a hard subject. It's something that many politicians, including myself, at some time in our political life have had reservations on talking about it, but we will go deep into this. We will go into the details on what abortion is all about, but it's not healthcare. It's another socially constructed concept that abortion is healthcare. It's not, and you have to go not too far to realize this. For example, during the pandemic, the people who were pro-life or pro-choice, they always said, my body, my choice. But when it came to respecting the rights of others not to get the vaccinations, they didn't say my body, my choice. They said, yes, follow the rules, follow the government. And it was just a bunch of hypocrite ideas and reactions from the other side. So we'll talk about that in another episode. So let's continue. So now we're going to go into U.S. Congressional District 8. And here we have one of our own, Cheryl Riley. This is her first stint at running for Congress. Ran for County Council in 2022 for representing District 4. She won this primary with 69% of the vote. The runner-up was Mr. Yadeda. Came in second with 31%. And all these data points are as of today, May 21st, 2024. One significant aspect of this District 8 was that nobody wanted to run in District 8. Nobody. That's why you had a lot of people running for this primary from the GOP side for District 6 instead. So kudos to Cheryl for stepping up. She has a heavy social media presence. Her platform is based on saving the country, America first. Most awakened and courageous GOP candidate for November aside from Trump, and going against the deep state head on. So kudos to Cheryl for stepping up, and I wouldn't have imagined anybody else running in this district. And no better candidate than you, Cheryl, because you are courageous, you are strong, and you have all the tools to defeat the deep state swamp creature that is Jamie Raskin. So Jamie Raskin was a show-in for from the start for the Democrat Party. He won on a landslide with 95% of the vote. Runner-up got 5%, and I'm guessing the runner-up was just told to, hey, just put your name in there. You're not going to do anything. Just for show, to show the public that there was a primary for District 6 on the Democrat side. So as maybe you don't know Mr. Jamie Raskin, but he is the one that led the January 6th committee in Congress that gave out false information, that lied, that hid information, hid videos, and basically lied to the American public and to the world, telling them that there was an insurrection, a deadly insurrection on January 6th, and that Mr. Trump and his followers were treasonous, were criminal for engaging in this January 6th insurrection. This could not be farther from the truth. The truth is the opposite. And this January 6th event, we're going to dig into that on later episodes, but we've mentioned some of it in previous episodes. And the bottom line is this, that this January 6th insurrection was orchestrated by the deep state, by the Democrat political establishment in D.C., and their cohorts, and with the participation of the mainstream media, local, national, international, and they use this supposed insurrection, to certify the fraudulent elections in 2020. So more information on that. But as for Mr. Raskin, he's the general of the Tacoma Park Communist Cartel. He endorsed Alsobrooks. So with him endorsing Alsobrooks, it bona fides that Alsobrooks kissed the Tacoma Park Communist Cartel's ring, the deep state ring, and that's why she was elected. He's a henchman for the globalists. He's the most deceitful, treacherous congressman alive, and he will face treason charges and likely end up in Gitmo. And that's a fact. He conspired to overthrow the government, and he was part of the coup against a sitting U.S. president. So Mr. Raskin is an evil man. Probably has a secondary Israeli passport, and when things are heating up this summer, he's probably gonna resign or quit or leave the country and go to Israel for protection. But no, he's a complete liar. He's the epitome of treachery in Congress, and justice will hopefully come to him soon. All right, let's continue. We're going to go into the Board of Education races, the primaries, and we have good and bad information on this. We have good results and bad results. The bad results are that although the residents got all kinds of information, there were forums, there were presentations, political events that showed the different candidates, that they still believed that the Apple Ballot candidates represented their values, represented their interests, and that the Apple Ballot candidates basically were better than the other candidates who were not endorsed by the Apple Ballot, but had real solutions, had real experience, had more experience than any of the current Board of Education members. So, and that would be the negative. And the positive is, yes, not all the outsiders made it through the primaries, but at least one did. So we're gonna talk about that next. Okay, so for the BO primaries, we had three races: the at-large, District 2, and District 4. For at-large, Lynn Harris and Rita Montoya won. For District 2, Brenda Diaz and Natalie Zimmerman went through. And for District 4, Shara Evans and Laura Stewart went through. For the at-large race, Rita Montoya received the Apple Ballot endorsement, as did Natalie Zimmerman and Laura Stewart. So I'm guessing that these two are going to win. Rita Montoya and Laura Stewart are going to win because that's how it is. That's how Board of Education um, members are chosen, elected in the county, and the people are still under their trance. So, but we're breaking that. Um, I was hoping to see in District 4 Bethany Mandel. We give her a shout out in this program, and we wish her good luck and thank you for running. And we please do not stop your activities and keep working with the community. As for District 2, Brenda Diaz went through as Natalie Zimmerman. So the only outsider, the only person who does not have any relationships with the political establishment in the county went through, Brenda Diaz. So we wish her good luck in the November elections, and hopefully we'll have her in the program soon. All right, so the at-large, Lynn Harris, she's the incumbent. She went through. She ran against 6 candidates. 2 made it through and got 32% of the vote. She's a Apple Ballot endorsee. She's a full-on woke progressive. She's incompetent. She's a racist. And she's part of the corrupt criminal Democrat political establishment here in the county. She supports government control of education. She supported forced masks during the pandemic, and thinks minority parents are spewing dogma to their children. So this result should give you a clear picture of what we're dealing with in terms of the very entrenched corruption and political establishment that is ruining the county, and in this case ruining our education system. We had a chance to vote these people out, but people are still voting for the Apple ballot, and this is not this is a negative, but we will continue to fight. We'll continue to expose these corrupt politicians, and we'll continue to showcase their incompetence. All right, let's continue. And Rita Montoya is the current endorsee of the Apple ballot. Lynn Harris was she was endorsed by the Apple ballot when she first ran, but not this time. Rita Montoya is a lawyer. She has no experience in education. She used generic talking points during her campaign. The general language you would hear from, let's say, Jawando or Don Lutke or Natalie Fanny Gonzalez or Andrew Friedson, or Evan Glass in the county council. She used generic language like, I will work for bringing back accountability to the Board of Education, or I will fight to bring back the parent involvement into the system. But it's all a lie. She's a puppet. She most likely kissed the deep state ring at the TPCC, the Tacoma Park Communist Cartel. These activists use the BOE as a springboard to the county council, like others before her. For example, Nancy Navarro. And she's a complete woke progressive puppet. She will do. She will vote. She will do as she's told. She will not have anything to say personally in terms of independent thinking, independent voting, or independent anything. And she's going to be part of, if she wins, she's going to be part of a long tradition of incompetence and of board members who are pushing communism and Marxism to our education system and are indoctrinating our kids. So that is Rita Montoya. Right, for District 2, we have some hope. We have Brenda M. Diaz, who made it through. She's a newcomer in the county political scene. Got second place with 21% of votes. It was a 5-candidate race. She's the only candidate not endorsed by the Apple ballot. She's the only candidate with over 20 years of actual education experience at all levels, primary, middle school, and high school, and both private and public sectors in education as well. She supports bringing back SRO. She supports returning education to core subjects, and she is concerned about bringing parents to the fold of education, and she supports respecting religious rights of parents vis-a-vis transgender curriculum. And this is important. She also said that she wants to bring back accountability in terms of how the budget is constructed, built, and allocate financial resources appropriately, because the current Board of Education is not managing the finances well. It's a complete disaster. And with this size of a public school system, and with the money that we have, over $3 billion, I think we shouldn't have any problems. We should be funding everything under the sun that is relevant, that is important in terms of education for our kids. So hopefully we'll have her on the show soon. But yeah, kudos for her campaign for making it through. Okay, so in District 2 we have Natalie Zimmerman. She was endorsed by the Apple Ballot. She's a novice candidate. Got first place with 46% of the votes. I didn't see her campaign at all. She barely showed up to the forums, to the political events. And yes, again, this was a race with 5 candidates. She only has experience in an elementary school, about 5 years. She's a full woke progressive platform, does not support bringing back SROs, thinks government should have total control of education, and does not support respecting religious rights of parents vis-a-vis transgender curriculum. So again, this is the same type of candidate that the Board of Education has had in its ranks for a long time, over 20 years. And this is why our education is in crisis. It's in crisis, it's being destroyed, and Natalie Zimmerman is not the answer to your questions, to your problems, to the many problems that we have in education. All right, going to District 4, Laura Stewart won, and again, she's a candidate endorsed by Apple Ballot. She's a Democrat political activist, got first place with 48% of votes. And there were 3 people running for this seat, for this race. Among those were Bethany Mandel, who again I give a shout out and provide kudos to for running. And I thought seriously that she was going to be one of the names we would read in today's episode. All right, Stewart is part of the Mean Girls at the Board of Education. And the Mean Girls, I don't have to explain that to you guys. Mean girls are usually the ones that are bullies to other people who don't follow their ideals, or who do not follow their rules, etc., etc. So she's part of that group. She's a full woke progressive candidate, and her platform shows that does not support bringing back SROs, thinks government should have total control of education, and heavily supports the transgender curriculum. So that would be the Board of Education District 4 candidates. Now let's go on. Actually, we have one more. We have Shebra Evans. She's the incumbent. She's part of the deep state. She's part of the Tacoma Park Communist Cartel. The times I've heard her speak or comment, she's like the Jawanda of the Board of Education. She doesn't have a high IQ. She won her race. She got second place with 28% of her votes. She's part of the Mean Girls at the Board of Education. Again, she's a puppet of the TPCC. She's fully woke, progressive. She supports CRT. She supports transgender curriculum, and doesn't want to support bringing back SROs to the school. So the job of these Democrat candidates at the Board of Education is to continue the destruction of the nuclear family in our schools by indoctrinating our kids. You have a lot of kids who are questioning the family structure. You have a lot of kids questioning their own sexuality. What does a 4th, 5th grader or a kindergarten have to learn about sexual education at that age? incredible. This is criminal. And we gave you the information. We gave you the details. We gave you proof. We gave you documents, etc. You got to start waking up, MoCo. You got to start waking up before it's too late. I mean, we still have some hope. We still have families that are fighting, parents who are fighting. And you got to get away from the mainstream media narratives that are pointing the fingers, are labeling people, labeling groups. We are parents. We are parents that are conservative. We respect gay people. We respect transgender people. I myself have family and friends who are gay, and I have no problems with that at all, as long as they don't force their ideals to my family or to my kids. I'm okay with that. We still live in a free country. If you're 18, if you want to worship your rock in the back of your in the backyard of your home, you're free to do that. If you're an adult and feel like you want to be called, you identify as a dog, that's your right. But do not mess with kids. Kids need to be kids. Kids need to get education. They need to get skills in math. They need to be able to read. Are you serious? We have less than 30% of kids in the MCPS cannot read at grade level. Let me repeat that again. Less than 30% of kids in MCPS schools cannot read at grade level. And why is that? Because you guys keep voting for Shirba Evans. You guys keep voting for Laura Stewart. You guys keep voting for Montoya. You guys keep voting for Lynn Harris. Come on, wake up. Okay, so this does it for episode 29, MoCo Primary Recap. We'd like to thank you for your time, for watching the show. And again, we would like to you to share this information far and wide. We will not stop. This is only the beginning for us. And thank you for all the support that we've gotten so far. And we are going to continue to work hard. We're going to continue to work for you, because that's why what I told you guys in 2022 when I ran for county council. I'm going to work for you. I represent you. If elected, I'm going to do this. I'm going to address the issues. My first, I remember the first act, if elected, was going to call for a full audit of the whole, of all the finances in the county, in the county council. So, and that would have released funds for other projects and issues that we have in the county. So I'm not going to stop. We're going to continue. We from the conservative side, we from the GOP side, we are going to continue fighting for what is important, in the county, and we're going to continue to do this and show you information. We don't have any agenda. We don't have any narratives. We're not beholden to anybody. We're only beholden to truth. We are religious. We are conservative, and if you're a liberal, you're a Democrat, you're independent, you're a Green Party supporter, welcome. We need all the voices that we can to start the conversation going to social media. The time for inaction is over. You got to get active. You got to talk to your neighbor. You got to talk to, when you go to the grocery store, you got to talk to people about, hey, what are these prices all about? You got to talk to them. You got to share information. Yes, we live in a blue county, in a blue state, but Democrats from all sides, from all races, from all walks of life are changing their political party because they're seeing the lies from the Democrat side. Now, we're not saying that the GOP is 100% honest and 100% free of corruption. No, I just pointed out to you, Larry Hogan. He's a rhino. He's a treasonous person who is selling out the country, who's selling out the GOP, who's selling out the conservative values a ticket to work for the Uniparty, to work for the deep state. So it's time for MoCo residents to wake up and smell the coffee. Yeah, so we ask you to subscribe to our channels in Rumble, YouTube, and Telegram. We'd like to engage with you and start discussions. And follow us at Facebook and Twitter. Join us. Join the resistance.
Wash you, make you clean, put away the evil of your doings from before mine eyes. Cease to do evil. Learn to do well. Seek judgment. Relieve the oppressed. Judge the fatherless. Plead for the widow. Come now, let us reason together, saith the Lord.